Hello, I'm Brad Talinsky with Backstory Events, and we're here at the Summer Nashville NAMM, and we have some special guests with us, the Manhattan Transfer, and they're here to receive the American Eagle Award. It's pretty exciting. I mean, past recipients include such jazz greats as like Dizzy Gillespie and Benny Goodman, so this is really quite an honor. Can you tell me what this means to you guys?
Well, first of all, we're Manhattan Transfer -1. Okay. So, just to be clear, as you say, it's a tremendous honor because of what it means in the music world and the organization that's giving it with their focus on music education, which we are always in favor of. And the past recipients are pretty astounding as well. So we're very honored to be in that company.
Anybody else like to add to that?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, the National Music Council is doing great work, to support education, music education, and singer-songwriters' rights in this new digital realm that we have. Trying to just kind of move it through and make sure that as kids grow up, they got music.
Yeah.
That's the thing I love about Nashville. I mean, this is definitely a music town. You don't find this very often,
This is the one.
You go to a lot of different places, and it's like the root is not about music, and that's really the way it should be.
You just walk down the streets, and it's everywhere.
I think also for me, and I think for us as a group, we travel around the world, and the one thing that kind of unites people, in all corners of the world is music. So kids, when they learn music, it ups their ability to learn English and math and science and languages. So it's all a wonderful, wonderful cause. And the message is, culturally around the universe, music, it heals.
Why do you think that jazz is still and improvised music remains important in the 21st century?
Well, improvisation is, how can I put this? It's a human skill that is very valuable in other areas of life. I mean, to be able to improvise, you have to be able to improvise in this crazy world, but it also implies a certain amount of knowledge, too, which ironically and paradoxically you have to let go of when you improvise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think jazz kind of skipped a couple of generations in a way, because when digital came in, when the internet came in, and music was so accessible, I think that studying an instrument, mastering an instrument, was not something that a lot of kids wanted to do. But what we're seeing now is different. Now we're seeing it in high schools, we're seeing it in universities, we're seeing where there is this interest to really get into it and to do that. That's why it's so important. And it's American born. It's American born, just like the blues, it's very important.
And it'll always be with us. Jazz did skip a few generations, I think, but now improvisation is really just soloing, and all bands and all singers, they take a moment in a song, or the instrumentalists at least. And soloing is improvising, which in itself is jazz. So they don't even know sometimes that that's what they are. They're jazz improvisers.
Well, I'm a great lover of jazz music, and I realize that sometimes in our pop culture, people aren't even given that sort of place to go where they can to listen to something and to understand it. So one question, it doesn't have to be your favorite song or the greatest song, but what would be like one jazz song that you says just captures the joy of the music that you would recommend, the novices, the people out there to listen to if they're interested?
Well, I would always recommend Miles Davis, like So What, or All Blues, anything from that period with Bill Evans, modal and simple, and yet you can hear how the melody is stated, and then everyone goes off on the melody and then comes back together again.
What I love about that era of Miles is that you can listen to it on a very, very deep and profound level. And it could also function as just some beautiful music to listen to in the background, too. Do you have something that you could recommend?
Yeah, well, I would recommend as a song, and it's not because we did it, but Birdland. You know, Weather Report's Birdland. And our lyric that was written by Jon Hendricks, if people don't know about too much about jazz, you know, just reading the lyrics in terms of the people that were there in the bebop era especially, you know, who played there. And, well, I'll say Chick Corea too, because Chick is being honored tonight. And Chick was, you know, he really got into fusion. When it plugged in, he kind of took those jazz chops and he brought it to another place, you know.
You guys did a great record several years back that was a tribute to Chick's incredible catalog of music. Yeah, it's fantastic.
And as as easy as it is to listen to Chick, when we attempted to sing it, it took us to another level, because sometimes the things that a musician can do that's simple is because they're so intertwined and it's so a part of their being. And Chick is not easy to sing. It's complex. You know, he really, really takes a melody and goes to outer space with it. So it was a joy. It was a lot of fun.
It wasn't even, harmonically, yes, challenging, but the thing with Chick is the rhythm, because he was a drummer also. And he's very immersed in flamenco rhythms and Latin rhythms. So that was also a challenge for us, because we were brought up on 2 and 4, you know.
I had a band, and it took us 6 months to rehearse one of his songs before we felt comfortable playing. So I can empathize. I could definitely empathize with that. So what's next for you guys? You have a television special coming up.
PBS special with Take 6. We've been doing a collaborative show called The Summit, and I believe it is airing now on PBS.
Oh, it is airing
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, that was somebody, we love the guys and just kind of working together. We have a new album out called The Junction, which is the first album that we've done that has our new member Tris Curlis with us. And we're touring, just doing a lot of touring.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. What do you think about it? It does feel like a cappella music especially has made sort of a tremendous comeback. You know, it's been explosive in the last 10 years. Are there, you mentioned Take 6, are there other people that you think are doing cool things these days?
A lot of other groups. You go online, it's endless. I can't even begin to name a lot of them. I think there was a couple films that came out, Pitch Perfect, that became very popular, and all the kids wanted to be in vocal groups and harmony groups. Pentatonics, who we worked with. Even Jacob Collier even brings to light, you know, with one voice, how he can become many voices. It's just really appealing to listen to. And it's, you know, these kids are great. There's so many great groups. You guys can name a bunch of them, too.
I
It's
enjoy a
endless.
group called Duende, and also internationally there are some amazing groups. The Real Group, there's Rajatan from Finland. There's many a cappella groups, that are awesome.
Yeah, it's coming up actually pretty soon. But this year we were invited. We're honorary members now of the Barbershop Harmony Association. And what's really cool too is that just last week, for the first time in 80 years, they now have women. They're now allowing women in. You know, before it was like split. They had the guys and then you had the Sweet Adelines, right? But now they're together, which is very cool, and I think it's because of them, personally.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us, and congratulations to you on the American Eagle Award. It's a terrific honor, really, and it perpetuates, you know, serious culture in America. It's a wonderful thing, and you guys deserve it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.